Hey warriors, stop. Just stop for a second. Feel that tightness in your chest? That racing heartbeat, the tension in your shoulders? That's not just stress. It's your mind desperately trying to control everything, your day, your relationships, your future, even things that don't exist yet. Every what if drags you deeper into panic, while the life you're missing quietly waits behind the noise. There's a razor-thin moment between chaos and calm, between gripping and letting go, and in that sliver of time, everything can change. If you miss it, you stay trapped. If you seize it, peace begins. You've been trying to force the river of your life to flow your way, pushing, wrestling, battling every current. But the water was never the enemy. It's a mirror reflecting the storm you carry inside. Fear isn't outside. It's lodged in the stories you replay, in the relentless drive to predict every outcome. The Stoics saw this clearly. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Worry is not preparation. It's the burden of battles that may never come. Epictetus reminds us, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. True power, real freedom, and lasting peace come not from controlling the world, but mastering yourself. Your mind is a battlefield. Fear whispers, everything might collapse. Wisdom counters quietly, maybe it's already falling perfectly into place. The chaos outside mirrors the chaos inside, but calm is a choice. The ego resists surrender because it equates control with safety, yet freedom is found in release, in trusting the rhythm of life. Imagine your thoughts as leaves on a stream. Worry clutches them. Acceptance lets them float. The moment you stop gripping, the fog lifts. What seemed scattered falls into place effortlessly. I'm going to create this video in 8 secret steps, each step revealing a deeper layer of how to release control and reclaim your peace. If this spoke to you, like to anchor this truth, share it with someone who needs calm, comment one area of life you're ready to release, and subscribe. Because this journey toward inner peace is just beginning. Number 1. The illusion of control. Pause. Take a deep, steady breath. Feel the moment. Right here, right now. Feel that tightness in your chest, that racing heartbeat, that tension in your shoulders. That's not just stress. It's your mind desperately trying to control everything, your day, your relationships, your future, even the things that don't exist yet. Every what if drags you deeper into panic, while the life you're missing quietly waits behind the noise. Here's the paradox. The harder you try to control life, the more life begins to control you. And the moment you see that truth clearly, the illusion begins to break. We were taught that control equals strength, that if we plan enough, work enough, and worry enough, things will finally go right. But control is a mirage. It looks solid from a distance, but the closer you get, the more it dissolves into mist. And the tighter you grip, the more everything slips through your hands. Peace, clarity, even joy. The Stoics saw this thousands of years ago. Epictetus wrote, "Some things are in our control, and some things are not." Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength that isn't just philosophy. It's freedom. Because most of our suffering doesn't come from what happens to us. It comes from our desperate attempts to make reality obey our will. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. That's Stoic wisdom, simple, honest, and painfully true. Picture your life as a stormy sea. The waves rise, the clouds twist, and you, fragile, human, hopeful, keep trying to command the tide. But the sea doesn't answer to you. It moves by its own rhythm. Your power isn't in forcing it to change. It's in learning to float, to surrender to what is, not what you wish it to be. Inside you, there's a quiet war. Fear whispers, "You're losing control." Ego answers, "Then fight harder." And peace, calm, patient, eternal, waits for you to stop fighting altogether. Because control isn't strength, surrender isn't weakness. Peace isn't found in dominance. It's found in alignment. Psychologically, the need for control is born from fear. Fear of loss, fear of uncertainty, fear of vulnerability. The mind tells you, if I can predict it, I can protect myself. But that's the beautiful lie that keeps you chained. You can't stop the river by clenching your fists. You can only let it carry you. Ironically, that's where real safety lives. Not in tension, but in trust. Imagine standing in the rain. You can fight it, curse the clouds, run for shelter, or you can open your hands and feel it fall. The rain doesn't stop, but your resistance does. And suddenly, what was discomfort becomes peace. That's the shift, the illusion dissolving into awareness. When you stop needing control, you start living. You begin to notice the rhythm of breath, the subtle beauty of impermanence, the quiet strength in letting go. The world doesn't need to bend for you to find peace. You just need to stop bending yourself trying to control it. So, ask yourself, what are you gripping too tightly? Who or what are you trying to control? And what would happen if you simply released? Because in the end, control was never strength, peace was. Now I want to hear from you. What's one area of your life you've been holding too tightly, and you're finally ready to let go? Drop it in the comments below. Your reflection might just help someone else find peace too. Number 2, the moment of awareness. There comes a moment, quiet, sudden, almost invisible, when something inside you wakes up. Not a loud realization, not a lightning strike of clarity, just a soft, steady awareness that whispers, "This isn't working." It's the pause between thought and reaction, the split second when you stop running, stop fighting, stop pretending, and you finally see the truth as it is. That moment changes everything, because awareness is the beginning of transformation, and every Stoic knew this. You cannot master what you do not first notice. Most of us move through life half asleep, trapped in loops of thought and emotion. We react, defend, worry, repeat, mistaking motion for meaning. We live inside stories built by fear, pride, or memory, but rarely stop to see them. Awareness is the light that breaks that cycle. It's not dramatic, it's not loud, it's the quiet clarity that arrives when the noise finally collapses. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up if you will ever dig." That's the essence of Stoic awakening. To look inward, honestly, without judgment. Awareness doesn't change what's happening outside you, it changes the way you meet it inside. Picture yourself standing before a storm. The winds are fierce, the sky roars. But in that instant of awareness, you realize you are not the storm. You are the observer. You are the sky watching the clouds move. That shift, from being lost in thought to watching thought, is the doorway to peace. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And how can you change your reaction if you're not aware you're reacting? Awareness turns automatic, living into conscious living. It gives you space, the sacred space between event and response. And in that space, choice is born. But awareness isn't always pleasant. Sometimes it's painful, painfully honest. Because when you truly see, you also see your patterns. How you chase validation, how you cling to control, how you create your own suffering. It's easier to blame circumstances than to face yourself. But real strength, Stoic strength, comes from turning inward, not outward. It's the courage to meet your own reflection, without flinching. Psychologically, this is the moment when the ego trembles. It realizes that awareness threatens its power. Because awareness sees through illusion, the ego thrives in noise, in reaction, in blindness. But awareness is light, and light dissolves everything false. Imagine awareness like dawn after a long night. It doesn't rush in, it unfolds slowly, gently, revealing the world piece by piece. You begin to notice your breath, your heartbeat, the thoughts that come and go like passing clouds. And then, something inside you relaxes. You stop fighting life. You start noticing it. That's where growth begins. Not in control, not in perfection, but in awareness. So, take this moment, right now. Pause. Observe your breath, your mind, your emotions. No judgment, no resistance. Just notice. That noticing is awakening. It's the shift from being lost in life to being fully alive in it. Because every moment of awareness plants the seed of peace. And peace, like awareness, doesn't arrive with noise. It blooms quietly. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one thing you've become aware of lately? Something that changed the way you see yourself or the world? Share it in the comments below. Your insight might awaken someone else too. Number 3. Acceptance is not surrender. Stop for a moment. Take a deep breath. Feel the tension in your chest, the thoughts spinning, the urge to control, to fix, to fight. That pressure, that endless resistance, is not strength. It's the weight of insisting the world bend to your will. But here's the Stoic truth. Acceptance is not surrender. It is not weakness, resignation, or giving up. It is the quiet, courageous choice to face reality exactly as it is, without distortion, denial, or resistance. Most people confuse acceptance with passivity. They imagine it as folding under life's pressures, as giving up on what matters. But true acceptance is the opposite. It is seeing the world clearly and responding from clarity, not fear. Imagine standing in a storm. The wind lashes, the rain pours, and you feel powerless. Acceptance does not mean you stop holding your ground. It means you stop wasting energy, fighting the storm itself. You shelter when needed, adjust your path, and move wisely, while the storm continues on its own course. You align with reality, instead of trying to bend reality to your anxieties. The Stoics saw this centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs?" And Epictetus reminded us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Acceptance is the bridge between inner chaos and calm. It is the moment you stop struggling against the inevitable, stop projecting your fear onto the uncontrollable, and start channeling your energy where it matters. Your thoughts, your actions, your presence. Psychologically, resistance is exhausting. The ego convinces you that control equals safety, that resisting reality keeps you secure, but resistance multiplies suffering. Acceptance does not. Acceptance liberates. It doesn't mean you stop acting. It means you act from peace, not panic. Imagine a tree in winter. It does not fight the cold. It does not demand warmth. It stands, rooted, enduring, waiting for spring. Acceptance is the same, a deep, unwavering alignment with reality. Patient, strong, alive. Acceptance also clarifies choice. When you stop fighting what is, you see clearly what can be done. You stop wasting energy on battles you cannot win. You focus on the things within your control, your effort, your attention, your integrity. The emotional release of acceptance is profound. It is like unflinching a fist you've held for years. Your body relaxes, your mind clears, your heart finds space, and in that space, peace emerges. Subtle, resilient, eternal. So take this moment now. Notice your resistance, your desire to control, your inner struggle, and say to yourself, I see reality. I accept it. I will act wisely within it. This is not surrender. This is power. This is clarity. This is freedom. Now I want to hear from you. What's one situation you've been resisting that you're ready to accept? Comment below. Your reflection might guide someone else toward peace. Number 4. The battle within the mind. Stop. Close your eyes for a second. Listen, really listen to the constant chatter inside your head. Whispers of fear, doubt, regret, and what-ifs intertwine with fleeting hopes, fleeting joys, and occasional clarity. Your mind is a battlefield, and every day a war rages, often unnoticed, between wisdom and fear, clarity and chaos, reason and impulse. Most people live entirely within this battlefield without even realizing it. They mistake the loudest voice, usually the voice of fear or ego, for reality. It tells you, you're not enough, you must control everything, danger is coming. And day by day, it chips away at your peace, your energy, your freedom. The Stoics saw this clearly. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Epictetus reminded us. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them. The battle is not outside, it is within. External chaos does not harm you. The turmoil inside your head does. Imagine your mind as a fortress. The gates are under constant siege by invading thoughts, fear of the future, regret of the past, judgment from others. You can fight every single thought, exhausting yourself endlessly, or you can learn to guard the gates wisely. The battle is not to silence the mind completely. That is impossible. But to recognize which thoughts demand your energy and which can be watched, acknowledged, and released. Psychologically, the mind is a storyteller. It narrates tragedies before they happen. It amplifies threats. It manufactures enemies and shadows. The ego loves this chaos because it feeds on tension. It convinces you that you must react, control, and dominate every scenario. But this is a trap. Your mind is not your enemy. Your untrained attention is. Picture a battlefield at dawn. The fog lies thick, obscuring friend from foe. If you charge blindly, you get lost. If you wait, observe, and move strategically, you survive. Your inner war is exactly the same. Clarity comes when you pause, breathe, and decide where to focus your energy. The Stoics teach a radical idea. You do not need to win every battle. You only need to master your response. Not every thought requires action. Not every fear demands a reaction. Your power lies in awareness, in observing the battlefield without being dragged into every skirmish. When you step back, the mind transforms. Chaos becomes discernible. Fear becomes temporary. Your inner fortress, once under siege, stands strong. You begin to respond to life, not react to illusion. You discover that mastery is not the absence of battle. It is the ability to fight with wisdom. So ask yourself now, which voices in your mind are leading the war? Which battles are yours to fight, and which are illusions crafted by fear and ego? Comment below. Share one inner battle you're learning to observe instead of react to. Your insight might inspire someone else to reclaim their mind. Number 5. The ego's illusion of safety. Stop for a moment. Notice that tug inside, the urge to control, to predict, to prepare for every possible outcome. That whisper in your mind that says, if I just do this, if I just say that, if I plan perfectly, then I'll be safe. This is the ego speaking. It promises safety, but it delivers illusion. The ego believes that by controlling people, events, and circumstances, it can shield you from uncertainty, disappointment, or pain. But here's the truth. Control is never security. The world does not bend to your will, and no amount of planning can prevent life's storms. The Stoics recognized this long ago. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it in vain desires." Epictetus reminded us, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Safety is not found in the outer world, it is cultivated within, in reason, clarity, and acceptance. Think of the ego like a fortress built on sand. It looks imposing, solid, and protective. But underneath, the foundation is fragile. Every expectation unmet, every unforeseen event, every human mistake shakes it. And when reality strikes, the fortress crumbles, leaving you more vulnerable than before. Psychologically, the ego thrives on fear. It convinces you that vigilance equals survival, that anxiety equals preparation. Your mind equates control with protection, but it's a trap. Safety is not tension, resistance, or overplanning. Safety is the calm that exists when you face uncertainty with presence and wisdom. Imagine walking through a storm. You could grip an umbrella so tightly that your hands ache, your body strains. Or you could release your tension, open your arms, and move with the wind. The rain still falls, the wind still blows, but your experience changes entirely. The storm outside remains the same. What shifts is your relationship to it. The Stoics teach us that life is not about eliminating risk. It is about training the mind to meet risk without surrendering to fear. True safety is found when you stop mistaking control for peace, when you realize the ego's promise of invulnerability is just a mirage. You can navigate life's uncertainties gracefully, but only by letting go the illusion that you can dictate every outcome. So, pause now. Ask yourself, where in life are you clinging to the ego's false promise of safety? Where could you release control and find freedom instead? Comment below. Share one place where you've realized the ego cannot protect you and how you're learning to face life with courage. Your reflection might help someone else see the truth too. Number 6. Flow with life's rhythm. Stop for a moment. Take a breath. Notice the tension in your chest, the thoughts racing ahead, the urge to push, force, and control. You think life must bend to your plans, your timing, your will. But the truth is simpler, quieter, and far more powerful. Life flows according to its own rhythm, and your peace begins when you learn to move with it, not against it. The Stoics understood this. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." Life is not a series of obstacles to conquer. It is a current to navigate. When you resist, struggle, or cling, you expend energy against the natural order, creating chaos within yourself. When you align with the rhythm of life, even challenges become opportunities, and uncertainty transforms into movement instead of paralysis. Picture a river flowing through a landscape. It doesn't ask permission to move. It doesn't fight the rocks or question the bends. It flows around, over and through obstacles with grace, carving a path over time. This is life's rhythm. Your task is not to stop it or reshape it. It is to flow alongside it. Inside you, the mind constantly rebels against this truth. The ego whispers, if you let go, you'll fail. If you surrender, you'll be unprepared. Safety lies in control, but the mind confuses tension with preparation, anxiety with vigilance. Flow is not passivity. It is deliberate, conscious movement. A wisdom born of understanding that life's currents are stronger than resistance. Imagine dancing with a partner. If you pull, push, and force every step, you stumble. If you move in rhythm, responding to their motion, the dance becomes effortless, beautiful, and precise. Life is the dance. the universe your partner, and flow is your choice to move in harmony instead of struggle. The Stoics teach that surrendering to life's rhythm does not mean surrendering your integrity or purpose. It means recognizing which battles are yours to fight and which are meant to be met with acceptance. It means understanding that timing, circumstance, and chance are outside your control, but your response is entirely yours. So, pause and ask, where are you swimming upstream? Where are you forcing the current instead of floating with it? Where could you release tension, let go of control, and allow life to shape your path? Comment below. Share one way you plan to flow with life's rhythm instead of resisting it. Your reflection may inspire someone else to find peace in alignment rather than struggle. Number 7. Detach from outcomes. Commit to action. Pause. Feel the weight of expectation pressing on your shoulders. Notice how often your thoughts orbit around results. Will it succeed? Will they approve? Will it matter? Every choice seems tethered to an outcome, every action judged before it even begins. The Stoics teach that this is where suffering hides. Peace does not come from controlling results. It comes from committing fully to the act itself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do every act of your life as though it were the last." Notice the focus. It isn't on the result. It is on the act itself. The mind wants certainty, but life is never certain. Plans will change, people will disappoint, circumstances will shift. Your power lies not in bending reality to your will, but in your steadfast engagement with what is within your control, your effort, your choices, your integrity. Imagine planting a seed. You water it, nourish it, and care for it. You cannot command it to grow overnight, nor guarantee the harvest. Your responsibility is to tend to it faithfully. The rest belongs to nature, to time, to forces beyond your grasp. Detach from the fruit, focus on the cultivation. This is action without bondage. Inside you, fear whispers, if it fails, you will regret it. If it succeeds, you might lose it anyway. The ego clings to outcomes for validation and identity. But true mastery, true freedom, comes when you release that grip. Commit to the process. Engage fully. Do your work with excellence. And let the results follow their natural course. Epictetus reminds us, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Detach from outcomes, but never detach from effort. Take action with courage, discipline, and focus. Not because you expect reward, but because virtue itself is enough. Picture a sailor navigating the sea. The waves are unpredictable, the wind uncontrollable. He cannot command the elements. He can, however, set his sails correctly, adjust the rudder, and navigate with skill. The outcome, safe arrival, is uncertain. But the action, mastery of navigation, is wholly within his power. When you commit to action without attachment, life becomes lighter. The mind stops spinning with worry. The ego stops clinging to validation. You move with clarity, focus, and inner peace. The journey matters more than the destination, the effort more than the applause. So, pause and reflect. Where are you clinging to outcomes that you cannot control? Where could you invest in action for its own sake, rather than its reward? Comment below. Share one area of life where you will commit fully to action while detaching from results. Your insight may guide someone else toward the peace of engaged effort. Number 8. The stillness beyond control. Take a deep breath. Feel the tension in your chest, the restlessness in your mind. Life seems loud, urgent, full of demands. Every event, every person, every obligation pushes and pulls, and your instinct is to respond, to control, to fix. But what if the real power lies in the pause, in the stillness beyond control? This stillness is not inaction. It is not giving up. It is the quiet recognition that some things are not yours to command. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. True mastery begins where control ends. Your mind constantly searches for certainty. It wants to anticipate outcomes, to manipulate reality, to avoid discomfort. Yet, the harder it tries, the more it suffers. Imagine trying to stop a river with your hands. The harder you push, the more water escapes, splashes, and overwhelms. The river follows its course. The only choice is how you navigate it. Fear whispers, "If you don't control this, you'll fail." The ego insists, "If you let go, you'll lose." But stillness is the quiet rebellion against these illusions. In that space, you can observe without reacting. You can choose your response rather than be swept along by panic, desire, or ego-driven urgency. Seneca reminds us, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. The chaos outside is rarely the true enemy. It is the turbulence within your mind. By stepping back, by releasing the need to control outcomes, you enter a space where clarity emerges naturally. Decisions are sharper. Actions are deliberate. Peace, previously obscured, becomes palpable. Picture standing on a quiet hilltop as a storm rages below. You cannot stop the wind or the rain. Yet, above it all, there is calm. The storm moves around you, not through you. That is stillness beyond control. The ability to exist fully, aware and centered, without being hijacked by the external world. In this stillness, life continues. Problems arise, challenges persist. But they no longer dictate your inner state. You respond with presence rather than panic, with clarity rather than compulsion. You act when necessary, and you release when you cannot act. You honor your boundaries, your energy, your mind. So ask yourself, where are you fighting the uncontrollable? Which battles are illusions of necessity? And what would happen if, even for a moment, you simply allowed stillness to guide you? Reflect on this in the comments below. Share one area in your life where you can step back and experience the stillness beyond control. Like, share, and subscribe. Because the path to inner freedom begins when you stop trying to bend the world and start mastering the calm within. Conclusion: you've been carrying the weight of the world, trying to control tides you were never meant to command. But here's the truth you've been searching for. Peace isn't earned through control. It's revealed through surrender. The Stoics didn't promise an easy life. They promised a meaningful one. They taught that you become free not by dominating your circumstances, but by mastering your mind. Not by predicting the future, but by being fully alive in this moment. Right now, you have a choice. You can close this video and return to the same patterns, gripping, worrying, controlling. Or you can try something radical. Let go. Just for today. Just for this moment. Feel that tightness in your chest? Breathe. That racing heart? Slow it down. Those tense shoulders. Drop them. Peace begins the moment you stop needing control, and that moment is now. Your turn. Like if you're ready to stop controlling and start trusting. Share with someone who's carrying too much. Comment the one thing you're letting go of today. Subscribe because this is just the beginning of your journey to inner peace. Remember, you don't need to control life. You need to trust yourself to handle whatever comes. Welcome to freedom. Welcome to peace. Welcome home.